Hi everybody, it's Jill Blanchett with Green Thumb Stampers. I'm here with my first card for the Exploring in Color Paper Pumpkin Kit. I've got pretty simple cards with this kit because I really liked the cards that came in it. I loved the designs on the cards, and I just didn't really feel that, I wanted to cut them up a whole lot. So my cards are pretty simple. So I'm going to get right to this one. I'm going to use the card with the buffalo on it. And we're going to just cut the tent off. I thought it needed to just be kind of alone. So I have an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of paper. I scored it at 4 1/4, and then I cut 1 1/4 inches off the front. So we have a 3-inch piece left here. I cut a boho blue piece at 2 3/4 inch by the 5.5. I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. I'm leaving just a smidge on each side. Then I'm going to take my card and I'm going to cut this panel off at 2.5 inches. And then I'll just make sure, yep, that's pretty good right there. I just didn't want to get any of the buffalo or anything in it, so I just wanted kind of the tent to make it look like camping. And we will glue that onto the front there. If you go to the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club site, there are a lot of great samples using this kit. People came up with some great designs. Again, I didn't want to keep reinventing the wheel of what they had. You can see it all there. And I just was having a hard time, like I say, cutting these cards all down. So I just cut them a little bit here and there. So for my inside, I have a 4 1/4 by 5, or a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece that I've stamped Happy Birthday on the inside. So let's do that. I'm going to use I guess I'm going to use Mossy Meadow because I did not bring over my wild wheat for some reason. We're going to stamp that in the middle-ish. And then on this card, I used some gold ribbon, and I decided I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more on the masculine side. So this time I'm going to bring and I think I might have stamped that over too far. Yes, I did. So let's flip it over and do it again. I'm going to use the twine, like the baker's twine this time. And let's move this way over to the side so that we're sure that it stays tucked inside the card. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back. No, I'm not. I'm just going to wrap it around a couple times and tie it in a knot. Maybe I'll just tie it in a bow. And I need to tie it a little tighter. I have a hard time. Does anybody else have a hard time keeping your string taut when you tie the bows and stuff? Thought I had it figured out at one time to wrap it around and keep the my fingers on the part where it's touched, and then just keep it down while I pull on the bow. But sometimes that doesn't always work either. So that's pretty good. That's pretty tight. Let's get our bows the same size. Trim that off. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on I tied it a little too tight. I got lines in my paper, but I'm going to pull those over a smidge. Put some glue on the back to hold it in place. glue that to the inside of the card. Right here. And then now it should close over and leave our ribbon there exposed. Okay, I had to get a piece of scrap white, so while I was at it, I didn't want the bow down here because it was too close to the tent, and since I already glued it down, I didn't have enough string to bring the bow up to the top, so I just brought it up and tied a little tiny knot in it. So now we're going to take our scrap white, and we've got our compass here. I gotta wipe my block. So we got our compass in the mossy meadow. Stamp that down, and then we're going to use our boot, hiking boot, in the pecan pie. And I'm going to put that over here. Now I'm going to put it over here so it's out of my way. So I just stamped that down in pecan pie. See if I can fill in the sole a little better. No, so let's stamp it again. I didn't get the whole boot in there very well. So I'll put it over here. There we go. All right. So now I've got my blender pen. And I'm going to open up my pecan pie a little bit. And I'm just going to touch the blender pen to the tip, and then I'm going to keep touching the sole with to get the majority of the ink off. And then I'm just going to draw it around in areas that I want the boot to be a little bit darker. And yeah, you can drag down from the lines themselves, but you're not going to get as much color as if you dip it into the ink pad. But I'm not going to dip it in anymore because I don't want it that dark. So I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to show you a little trick with the compass. A little fun trick I saw on a swap card. At least this is, I tried to dissect the swap card, and I don't know who sent it to me to reach out to them and ask them. So I'm going to assume that this is what they did. So hang on, and I will show you. Let me get this boot cut out. Quickly, the best I can, without too much delay, without too sloppy. Oh, look at it, I've got my finger in it, and now I must have had my finger in some ink. So from the, see it on my finger? Now it's on my project. We're just gonna leave it. Let me see if I can pick up a little ink off the container. No, not really. So we're just going to leave it. I will cut another one to put on there. I'm going to show you my little trick with the compass. I'm taking a little bit of clear packing tape, and I'm going to stick it over the compass, and then I'm going to cut it out, and this is going to give it a sheen, like a shiny look, without having to use any like lacquer or any of that. So I thought that this is a fun way to give it a different look by just adding a little bit of packing tape. All right, so you get it. I'm going to cut this out. I got white rim on there. Going too fast. Trying not to drag this out so much, but all right. So then I'm just going to, on this one, I did take a hole punch, and I will do that as I make a new boot, so hang on. All right, so I redid the boot, and I cut out my compass, and I punched it with a little tiny hole punch, just to, you know, and you could even put like a little string through that if you wanted. I'm going to glue the compass on flat at an angle down here, and then I'm going to pop the boot up. And we'll put that over here. And there you have our first card. You could put some words up here or something if you wanted to, but I don't want to. So there's our first card.